Record video. Oh, hi guys. Sorry, I didn't realize I'd already started. Okay, let's do this. So I'm going to start slow tonight, slower than normal. And I'm going to start by making some pouring medium because I need some quinacridone nickel azo gold. So I've been trying to help a couple different people out, and sometimes my channel or my mixes are hard to follow because I change them all the time. I'm constantly tweaking and adjusting. So I'm going to start making medium, and then we're going to make one color, and then we're going to jump right into painting. But you know what? My pouring medium is as easy as 3, 2, 1. That's all you need to remember. 3, 2, 1. So I've already measured out the bottle with this. So I use Valspar Ultra Deep Base, this one, messy bottle. This is Valspar Seasons Plus. It's a satin finish, and it is exterior. So you know what? Like I said, I've already measured it. I have little marks on the lines. So I'm just going to add it to the line. I was worried that I wouldn't have enough, which I don't. So I'm actually going to add a little bit of Behr 8300, and it's not going to make any difference whatsoever as long as it's 3 parts. So this one is Behr 8300 mixed with Valspar. It's a little bit different consistency for sure, so we may have to add a little more water. All right, that's 3 parts deep base. It's more about consistency than the amounts, I find, because if I get crazy and I add too much of one thing or something else, I either add more paint to thicken or add more water to thin. Okay, 3 parts, right to the line. 2 parts, Varathane triple thick is what I'm using right now. That's it, 2 parts of that. 3, 2, and 1. Elmer's glue. Again, I already got marks on the bottle, so I'm just filling it to the bottle, to the lip mark on the bottle. That's it. So each one of these increments were measured with this, equal proportions. 3 of the Valspar, 2 of the triple thick, and 1 of Elmer's glue all. That's it. 3, 2, 1, you guys, and we're done. So if I had a lid for my container, that would be good. We will just give it a good shake. Now it's going to be super thick, really thick, because of the Behr 8300, and mine's been sitting around for quite a while, so it's a lot thicker than normal. But we'll just give it a really good stir. And I use this medium for everything. It's great for bloom pours. It works for swipes. If I was going to use it for a straight pour, I just thin it with some water. That's it. And I leave it thick. I mix it with my colors, and then I thin with water to create the consistency that I'm looking for, specific to the type of pour that I'm doing. And every single one is different. Every single color is different. It all has different viscosities. If it's a fluid acrylic, you're obviously going to have to add more water, or less water. If it's a heavy body, you're going to have to add more. Okay, so that's how thick it is. Very, very thick. So we need some quinacridone nickel azo gold. And I want to make about that much in the pot. So I'm going to dump it in. Nickel azo gold, about that many squirts. A good stir. So one of the nicest things with the fluid acrylics is that you can really make it the shade you want. So if we want this darker, we would add more paint. If we wanted it lighter, we would have added less paint. So it's still very, very thick. So I'm just going to thin it with water. plain water, tap water, until we get the desired consistency. Coming, still pretty thick. And that's it. You just keep gradually adding increments. Getting better. So I want a nice, for blooms and swipes, I want like a nice stringy consistency. And I kind of want a little bit more color in this. So because it's a fluid color, I'm going to add the color before I add more water because it is quite liquid. But it's kind of lacking color. That's looking better. Maybe a little bit more water and we're good to go. Okay, I'm all right with that. All right, you guys, let's do this. Let's paint. Put some of my mess away here. So we're going to, what are we going to do? We're going to transfer swipe. So my first, we're going to build it on this tile and then we're going to transfer it somewhere else. So my first swipe tonight, or my first transfer, isn't even going to be a swipe. It's just going to be paint poured. So white and black. And we're just going to swish them together. I added way too much black, so let's put some more white. All right. And then we're going to have to do this in layers and sections, which I don't have a lot of kitchen space to do layers and sections, but we're going to set that aside. And then we're going to drop everything on the floor. So this is a fiberboard. So we're going to transfer our first swipe onto here, but first we're going to lay down our base coat. We're going to move all these colors before I make a big mess. So you have to be patient with me tonight, you guys. I have COVID. Yeah. I started feeling sick last week. Oh, I started feeling just really, really overwhelmingly fatigued one day last week, like Tuesday or Wednesday. And I called my daughter and I said, I am so tired. I need to lie down and have a little bit of a rest. And I'm kind of confused. I was trying to do some things that normally come really easily and nothing was working. Like right now, I can't find my fire. Oh my goodness, you guys, I just had it. All right, let's dump as much of this off as needed. So I found what's easiest with this is to really get my base coat to a place where it's almost exactly where it needs to be without a lot of excess paint on it. And then that way our swipes and transfers have enough movement to move, but they don't all fly right off. And it's a hard balance to get. Sorry, I'm a little bit kind of shaky and kind of weird. Anyway, I was super, super tired that day, so I had a little lie down and a rest, and I woke up like about 2 hours later on the couch, and I didn't really feel a lot better. I still felt really tired and kind of dozy and confused, and I just took it easy that evening, and I had the chills, and I had a fever, and I couldn't get warm, and then I started with a backache, and yeah, on and on it went. So I called into work the following day, and of course, work sent me a COVID test. and I came back positive. So I have been down and out for 3 days now. 3 days of feeling absolutely miserable. And my daughter has it, and there's my fire. My daughter has it, and her boyfriend has it. So go easy on me tonight, you guys. It's a really weird thing, and when they say that this is mild symptoms with this Omicron, I'd hate to see what happens if it's not mild, because I'm pretty healthy and I'm fully vaccinated, and I just feel like crap. All right, let's get rid of some of that. Okay, so we're going to pick up our black and white swirl, and our first swipe isn't a swipe, it's just a black and white swirl, and we're just going to lay that down. We're actually going to mix up some of it a little more. Okay, here we go. So we're just making a little bit of a fun pattern. That's all we're doing. We are all so obsessed with having cells, and that we forget that there's so many other incredibly wonderful things that we can do, and they don't necessarily have to have cells. Cells are fun, but we don't have to have them. All right, so we're going to move some things around. We're going to do some moving back and forth tonight due to lack of space. So now we're going to put this over here and just let it sit there for a second. We're going to take our board again, and we're just going to utilize some of this paint because we don't want to waste it, and there's nothing wrong with it, and it's all our same color scheme. And then we're going to lay a little bit more down. So this is Canadian Tire Easy Flow paint. And generally with the swipes, I put a little bit of Valspar Ultra Deep base in it, the same base that we just used for our pouring medium. It gives a little bit of body and a little bit of consistency. Okay, here is our quinacridone that we just made. And we're going to start with blue though. This is Atelier Blue Black. Such a pretty color. I've used the blue black, and then I used the red black. I have a video to share with you guys. I just haven't posted it yet. I did do it a few days ago, so if you see it in the next day or so and it says it's Saturday, it's not, but I've lost a whole bunch of days. This is TLP's Harvest Gold. No, it's not either. It's Jacquard Gold. I think it's Solar Gold, actually. Okay, this is our quinacridone Nickel Azo Gold that we just made up. And this one, actually, this is the quinacridone Nickel Azo Gold that we just made up. The other was a little bit of leftovers. All right, and we're going to swipe it in black, which I don't have a swiping tool out. That wasn't very smart. Alright, well, we're going to use the big one. I am so off my game, you guys. I really, really wanted to paint yesterday, and I kind of got all set up to paint. By the time I got my paints all out, I was so exhausted. It was just too much energy to even paint. Alright, we're going to use the big one. We're going to load our palette knife. This is the Amsterdam paint black and 3-to-1 Aussie Floetrol. Okay guys, here we go. Okay, We are going to put that aside now for just a second. And I'm going to move my paints before I make a mess. That'll be it. I'll do one painting tonight and I'll be done. This mild symptom COVID kicks the bejeepers out of you, for sure. All right, quick torch. Now we're gonna do a lot of moving around tonight, you guys. Okay, we're gonna bring this one back. And then I think I'm actually going to give it a bit of a spin. I'm going to move this one first. Put up my wall to protect me. I'm going to give it a quick spin. So by keeping our base fairly thin to begin with, the real weight of our paint is going to be in our swipe and our transfer only. The rest of our base is exactly where we want it to be to have it dry properly. So there really isn't a lot of paint that moves around, which is good. All right. I'm eager to see this performance. I'm holding my wall up with my knee and the other board with the other hand. Okay, let's get this centered. Sorry guys, a little bit awkward tonight. Okay, here we go. So now we're going to scoop up some of these beautiful colors. Go to a couple of these little freckles. And then we're going to transfer them. Same thing, slowly, just let that run down your palette knife or your scoop or whatever it is. And I'm going to come in right here and take out a little bit of that white. One. Get that cell action for you guys. Now, because we spun most of the paint off, we don't really have to do a lot of spinning. We can leave our composition exactly like that if we like. And that way we retain our cells, because the majority of the weight is in the swipes that we just put in. So I am just going to shift this around a little bit and move a little bit of paint, because we still have to move it. It's not perfect, but we don't have to do a ton of spinning. We just have to make sure that the weight is balanced so that our painting dries nicely. Let's catch a couple of these little white freckles. Let's wipe half the windowsill out. Okay guys, I'm going to spin it anyway. I'd rather not, because I really want to keep these cells, but it is a little bit heavy for paint in spots. And I'd like to do something in there. So I think we're going to scoop up this last little bit. And we're just going to come in right here. Just like that. All right, let's put this away. my wall up. All right, and let's spin it a wee bit, you guys. Yeah, that might be it, you guys. I'm pretty happy with that. Let's give things a bit of a wipe down so you can see. Maybe one more little spin. That's it, guys. We are done. So I'm just going to go back in and touch up some of those little freckles, but I'm not going to bore you guys with the whole touch up the freckle process. You all know how to pop the white bubbles. All right, you guys, thank you so much for pouring with me in the kitchen tonight. This will be hopefully my first and only pour with Omicron. All right, my friends, take care. Pour happy, stay safe. This is miserable stuff. All right, guys, bye for now.